Welcome to the Honest Truth Podcast, where I allow everyone to speak their truth. What's poppin', you guys? Welcome to the Honest Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Sweet. And today, y'all, I have a special guest in the building by the name of Simply Nessa 15.
Hey, girlies.
So y'all know it's about to get a little messy.
Yeah, we gonna talk.
Just want to say thank you so much for coming out. Like, I can't believe you came out here for me.
Of course.
This is iconic.
You're very special to me.
Being that you're a mother of two now, that was a journey.
Yes.
So
we drove. So if you've ever driven with children, specifically babies.
How was that?
My back hurts from twisting around every 2 seconds, but we made it.
Okay, so on top of that, girl, we were having a discussion, y'all, before we aired. Give us what happened.
I was in the hospital a couple days ago. So I just want to, she said she couldn't see that I had a black eye under this makeup. So thank you so much. I feel like my makeup's improving, my skills. Because I dropped a 25-pound dumbbell on my face 3 days ago.
Oh my God.
I was doing some like chest pumps. The hand slipped and
oh my
right
God.
I wasn't going to go to the hospital, but everybody was telling me go. There can be a brain bleed. So I went, got all the x-rays, did the CT scan thing.
What did they say?
They said I was fine. I'm just going to go back when I get back just to like double check, but it's bad under this makeup.
Oh
it's purple.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, we need the tutorial on how you covered that up.
I will, coming soon to the channel.
Oh my God.
Yes. She's a survivor.
I'm like, she survived something tragic.
No, the doctor was like, you are so lucky.
Really?
Like, instead of trying to catch it, I moved my head. But he said if I didn't move
So
my
it
head.
grazed you?
Yeah, it hit me like right here. But it still left like a black eye.
Oh my God.
But if I wouldn't have moved, girl, I would not be sat in this chair right now.
God is good.
And I was telling Kelly that when I was in the hospital the entire time, I was like, no, I need to do the podcast. How am I going to cover this?
I said, not her thinking about the podcast.
Like,
we're thinking about your life.
No.
I'm glad you're here, though.
I am too.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking about
blessings. Being lucky.
pretty much. We are going to be talking about messiness before marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Period. All right. And those of you who have been following us for years, y'all know, if y'all know the friendship, y'all know the friendship. We have come a very long way, and I feel like we got a lot to like dive in because both of our lives are literally completely different from where we came from. And it's actually insane. Yeah. Like, I still be laughing when we text each other, and I'm like, she got to get the kids ready. Like when he was like, I'm feeding my kids. It's like, wow.
Like, that doesn't sound like something that should come out of our mouths. Feeding my kids up with an S at the end.
She said S. I said, whoa. So I want to start with like a little icebreaker.
Okay.
Is there any YouTube videos out there that you regret or you wish you never posted?
Yes. I think I probably regret all the crying videos.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like even though I was comfortable in my space of being that vulnerable, it just got used against me so much. And
it did?
I got painted as this like emotionally unstable person. But I was just, everybody cries, everybody has their moments, but obviously mine were broadcasted to, those videos would get 1 million views. Mm-hmm. So like,
that's crazy because I don't look at you like that, but maybe because I know you. But
yeah,
from
you
like,
actually know who I am.
But I actually miss those days where people were more real. Like, I feel like now it's super robotic and everybody's like, meow, 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 meow.
Like, they know the way to move to get to a certain point.
It's calculated.
So nothing's authentic.
Yeah, it's all calculated. And I feel like if we date back to when we first started on YouTube, those were the times.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was very fun. And the story times were storying.
Mm-hmm. Something else I think I would regret is my reacting. So if somebody would like give me something, boom, I'm gonna make a video about it. Meaning like, oh, they try to shade me on Twitter, or they try to say this about me on their Snapchat. Boom, let me go make a video. I was too reactive in the past, and I gave people what they wanted.
But I feel like it's valid because there's an age play with this as well. Like if you look back, we were like 18, 19. It's like you get away with that. Now, getting closer to 30.
If we were doing that now at almost 30,
we're concerned.
that's a problem. Yeah.
It's giving, let's make sure she's okay. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like you get a pass on that when you're younger. I mean,
I feel like so many people didn't give me a pass though.
But I think in that era, well, no, because it's the same now. I feel like cancel culture is like this day and age era, but I feel like back then, people would just say what they wanted about you and they just didn't care. I mean, people still do it, but it's like it was to another extreme back then. Dang, how did you handle that?
I don't know. Your girl went, I don't know. I ended up with really bad anxiety from when my time of being out here, and like, I don't know, when I was making the same kind of content back in Arizona, I was chilling. But I feel like just because I was in the hustle and bustle and it was such fast living at the time, it was very overwhelming, and I just kind of crashed at a certain point. Yeah,
that happened to me as well. I feel like if I could think of a regret, mine would be collaborating with some people. Just because I feel like...
I'm like, who?
Spill the tea. Honestly, I feel like almost everyone that I've collaborated outside of you, or everyone.
Yeah. Because it's like, who sat here now?
Who's still here? Like, who can I actually call today? No one.
Yeah, I don't feel like I could. I don't know if that's another topic you want to get into like later on, but yeah, I don't feel like I could call really anybody from that era aside from like you or Steven.
Yeah. I mean, I have like maybe 2 people on the list that I can call from that era. But I mean, I think that was like, because we went through the phase when we were living back in our hometowns and we were doing it, and it was just kind of like free flowing. It was nothing too much to it, right? We were just being ourselves, posting videos. And then I feel like when I moved to LA, that's when things started changing in the internet world. Like people started looking at it more as like, oh, I need to get to the top. I need to hustle. I need to collab and get to the top. And I experienced that a lot with a lot of people.
You did collaborate a lot.
I did. Yeah. I loved, but the thing is, I looked at people as my friends. Like I didn't look at them as, oh, they're trying to, film with me because I'm popping at the time. Because we were popping. Too.
And then I got hurt when they didn't reciprocate the friendship.
And then when it's time to show up for the birthday or something, I'm like, where are ya? Where are you? So learning lesson, I wouldn't say it's a regret because I feel like it has built me to where I am today. Like now I have genuine friends around me, like people that don't care about all that, and I can actually call them. Remember, I don't think people know this, but
I'm scared.
Me and Nessa had beef.
Oh yeah. I could actually remember being in my like first apartment looking at your channel like, this girl making story times. What's she doing? I'm doing story times too. Why are we both doing the same thing?
That is hilarious. Please.
That was our beef though.
Please tell the people how that happened.
Like we didn't even have like a real actual reason to
not like each other.
Because I remember James brought us together and we were inseparable after that. I kind of stole her away from him a little bit. Yeah. I was at her house every day.
All the time. We was doing all the things, girl.
Getting into a lot of things.
How did we get over the beef part though? Did we have to like meet in person or something?
We did a video on my channel. Remember it was like what was it? I remember we were like posed like back to back on my couch. I can't remember what it was called, but we did
insert picture here.
Insert thumbnail. It was something like meeting my like YouTube beat. I don't know, something like that. Something along the lines of that. And we just talked it out and we hung out.
Was that like VidCon times?
It was.
Wow.
Well, the way they still try to invite me. I am not coming.
Get an invitation.
I am not coming. Playlist list. If you're watching this playlist live, VidCon.
We won't be there.
We won't be there. BeautyCon. Hit me up. Playlist. You can keep your memories.
That's funny because I went to Playlist and I didn't tell anyone. I just went because I got invited.
Last year or
a year ago? Yeah. I went and I actually did like a panel and everything, and it's different. Like remember how the hallways were, like how everybody would hang out in the hallways, but we would actually hang out. Now everyone's making TikToks in the hallways.
No one's talking.
I was like,
no one's
no
chilling.
fun.
Yeah.
I was like, no fun.
Everything's calculated. They're just like, oh, who can I try to, film a video with to boost my account? Like, let me go try over here.
I was like, our era was the era.
Yeah.
Speaking of the messiness, let's get into the elevation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what everyone watching is like really interested in, is just seeing you, being a teen vlogger. Like, that's what we were. And the transformation to see you now full adult, like you're married now, you have 2 kids, you have your fitness program, which is really dope. Like, you just have so much dope things going on. And I feel like for people who could be stuck in like a certain era of their life that doesn't feel like it's pushing them forward, what was your pivoting like moment?
Well, I think people should find a way to show up for themselves. But if I'm going to be honest, I didn't have the strength to show up for myself. What really made things become like, okay, I need to get it together. I need to figure out what I want to do was my child.
Really?
Like Nyla. When I got pregnant with Nyla, I was like the world just kind of like stopped. And I was like, okay, I need to start focusing on my mental health. I need to start focusing on, taking care of my body. I need to start focusing on my career, because at first I feel like, I don't know, I feel like everybody's different, but I think I was in the way of myself. So I guess it's hard. It's kind of hard to answer.
Yeah.
Like, how can you get out of your own way? How can you find the motivation? But I don't know, my daughter just brought it.
Wow.
And now I have my son, and it's like double the motivation.
Yeah.
Now I'm going.
So would you say like your pregnancy came at a shock? Because I was shocked.
Yes, it was not a planned pregnancy. Just kind of happened. We weren't trying to get pregnant.
Neither was I.
She showed up, and yeah.
Wow.
The world changed that day.
Yeah, I feel like the moment you told me that, when I was like super shocked, because I just could never picture you in that light. But
everybody said that. Like, I can't imagine you being a mother.
Yeah,
Vanessa.
I mean,
like,
you
what?
never really talked about it. Like, we never really had conversations about that. Granted, we were very young, but I feel like the moment you did have her, I seen an instant glow and like change where I was just like, wow. So the marriage, because that's new too. Like, you never really got into detail as far as when you met the man. I don't know if that's something you want to share. You don't have to feel pressure to, but that's beautiful too. Because, we've had our dating histories.
Yeah, we have definitely gone through the ringer, for sure. So I think that all led up to this, which doesn't mean that you should go through toxic or bad relationships. Do not do that to yourself, girl. It's not worth it.
No.
But I think it was about time. I was happy when I met him. It was like an instant, like, I knew this is my husband.
Wow.
Like the day I met him.
I think people always wonder what that feeling is like. So I want to kind of elaborate. I feel like when you're in the dating pool, right, and it's like you're just trying to kind of figure it out, there's something in your spirit where like, this ain't going nowhere further than further.
Yeah.
And there's like a difference. So like when people are like, how do you know that? It's like that same feeling that you're getting that person isn't for you is literally the same feeling, but opposite when you find somebody that's for you.
Yeah. And the more time we spent with each other, it was just like, oh yeah, I definitely know. Like you said, there's relationships we had when we were younger, and you could just tell where it was going to stay, what level it was going to get to, and it wasn't going to elevate. Yeah. And unfortunately, we probably held on to some of those relationships a little longer than we needed to, but it was all a learning lesson.
Yeah. And look at you now.
Came to pick me up.
Cheers.
It came to grab me.
From cheersing tequila to cheersing coffee.
And actually needing the coffee.
I said, ooh, I need a boost. How are you feeling? Because I'm feeling a little tired.
Yeah, it was a long night.
I said these 5:30 a.m. wake-ups are killing me.
Destroying me.
Dragging me by my weave.
No, but before I didn't understand why people drank coffee every day, and now I'm like,
girl, I never knew.
So how would you say motherhood has like changed your perspective on like everything?
I used to hear people say like, oh, when you have kids, like it's going to be a complete changed. Like I literally now understand like it's a complete culture shock. It's like you literally are 1 minute just doing whatever you please when you want to do it, and then boom, you're kind of in this predicament where your life isn't like that. And so for me, I actually love it. Like I think it's added discipline in my life because, you know, I am the boss of my own business, and if I wanted to sleep until 10, that's what I was doing. And
sometimes 2.
Yes. Sometimes taking naps in between, staying up late, doing what I wanted.
Always napped. You were always
I love my naps,
girl.
honey. Put on a movie, let's nap. Can't do that anymore. So for me, it's changed me in a good way because now, like, people think I was a boss before. Just wait till you see what I'm going to do next, because I just have a whole another motivation, kind of like what you said. Like, it just
Another
motivates
reason.
you. Yeah. And then it really helps me with discipline and timing, because Kelly was always late. Kelly was always late. Like, girl, come on. Like, you have nothing to do but your makeup and hair. Like, get there.
Why were we always late?
I don't know.
But I remember you being
like, now when I look at life, I'm like, why am I late? Now with the child, if I'm late, I'm like, valid. But back then, I'm like, what was the reason? What was the reason? So yeah, it's definitely helped me with time management. Like, I'm always looking at the clock now. I'm learning how much I can get done in a short amount of time, and it actually thrills me. Like, I feel like, wow. Like, ain't no way, can't nobody tell me nothing. I done pushed out the baby. Let's start there. I done recovered, and I'm still working.
Exactly.
So, yeah. How are you balancing, like, the whole motherhood, but also entrepreneur, filming, editing? Like, what does your day look like?
Well, thank goodness for Anthony, because he is such a big help. We have like this little 2-hour rule every single day. You get 2 hours to do whatever you need to do, whatever you want. So if he wants to go to the gym, if he wants to play video games and just like zone out, do his own thing. Yeah, he has his time and I have my time. So I'll film my TikToks, or I'll work out, or I'll work, or I'll answer emails, you know, whatever it be at the time. So that's how I manage. It's balance.
Yeah, that's really good. I think great question too for me, because, you know, I'm a new mom, 3 months out.
Wow.
And so we're like hopping into our balance of like, okay, what does that look like? And so we're just learning like, okay, you get this time, you get, like, whatever, you know, the separation of that. But I will say, like, having a good partner, like, does help. And shout out to the moms that are single moms. Like, I really have so much compassion and support and gratitude their way, because I don't know if I would be able to do it by myself.
I know we could, but it would be very hard.
Yeah, it can be done,
but wow, very strong women.
Yeah, very strong. So let's talk the body after 2 babies. What was that transformation like? Because the first baby, right, I feel like you transformed. And then the second baby came and you really transformed.
After Nyla, I feel like it was a little bit easier to lose the weight afterwards and to quote unquote bounce back. I was still like trying to work out a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest, I was not consistent at all at the time. But after the second baby, it stuck. The weight did not want to move. I was trying to work out. I wasn't eating the best still, and yeah.
So what did you do? Did you like change your whole diet?
I had to change everything. Like, you know, I used to love my fast food, my Taco
Girl,
Bell.
you and I both.
Yeah, we'd be in the line at 2 a.m. Baja Blast. Thank you.
Baja Blast.
In and out.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to always be in those lines, and I just had to switch that all around. That's all in my ebook.
Get it today. No, I'm really going to get that ebook, girl, because I'm like, for me, I'm trying to get these abs back. So I need to definitely, you know, showing my stomach was the thing, okay? I love
Miss Crop Top.
Yeah.
Miss Bralette.
Yes, Miss Bralette, Miss Sports Bra. So what do you eat now?
I eat pretty healthy now. Like,
really?
Chicken, salmon, raw tuna, raw beef.
Raw beef?
I love raw beef.
You make it?
Well, no, I go and buy it prepared. Girl, I poison myself.
I was about to say, you're really in it.
God, please.
I was about to say, you're really in it.
No, I'm in Las Vegas, so we have a lot of places that like specialize in like butchers and stuff. So,
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I know that sounds pretty crazy. Some people are probably like, "Ew, girl, what?" But
no, I mean it's like eating sushi.
Yeah, that's how I view it. Like if you're gonna eat raw fish, like as long as you go to someone that it's a clean cow.
Wow,
good. I eat very clean quinoa, vegetables, yogurt, eggs. Like, girl, very basic. Wow. We don't have red 40. We don't have sweets in the house anymore, aside maybe a pack of cookies.
So I see like you guys travel a lot, like out of the country. Do you feel like that also kind of helped with the diet? Because I know when I like went to Europe and stuff, like my skin was so bomb because of food. Like, I mean, you could attest to that.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I feel like whatever they're growing their vegetables with, just the quality of their product out there is different. And just people out there, it's less processed food. It's more make your food yourself type thing. So everything's a little cleaner and skin was glowing out there.
Yeah.
And then I came back and it broke out again.
That literally, you know what I think it is though? I think it's the water out here.
That too.
I deal with a lot of people saying like, oh, you fell off. Do you
I actually
get
made
that?
a TikTok about that like a day ago.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Like, so let's talk about falling off.
How do you feel about that? Like,
I don't think I fell off because now I actually have a community of people that care about me and like me for who I am. Because at first, I'm gonna be honest, probably 50% of the people that were watching me were watching to see what I got into next. To see like what move is she gonna make
this week?
And what's gonna go wrong for her. Like let's see this disaster on camera. So I feel like a lot of people were there for the wrong reasons. I mean, I was entertainment. I was just purely entertainment, which I still want to be for people today. But I think the audience I have now, it's because we have like a genuine connection with each other and they care about me. Like they care about me for me. Not just, oh, I like that lip gloss she's wearing, or oh, she's telling this story about a ghost, which that's still entertaining, of course. But I don't know, my content is different now. It's more personable, it's more lifestyle. So I don't think I fell off.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you fall off when you give up.
I don't think you fell off. I mean, I think that is something that our generation uses as a term. But
if you're not like getting 1 million views anymore, but it's like, girl, I had my time.
Yeah, but also I do feel like if you look at people's careers like on social media, right? And falling off to me is where you're still not going. So like the fact that you're still able to get up and go and still have an audience and engage people for all of these years, like, I mean, you got to give it to us. We've started when we were in freaking like middle school, high school, like, and the fact that we're still making a living off of this, I mean, it's not too many who doing that.
Exactly. Like I started personally when I was like 13 and then I made my Simply Nessa 15 channel. I had an old channel. I can't even remember what it was called like Haya something. Some random name. But then it like popped off at 18 and that's been like my thing since then. So almost 10 years. I'm very grateful that people are still
here.
Yeah.
What are some things that has happened or is happening in our world of influencing that you never thought would happen?
So I never thought that I would, like, you see people make story times about stalkers. You see people make story times about scary situations. I never thought that was going to actually be my reality. I never actually thought I was going to have to file restraining orders against people. I didn't know I would have to move because people are tying things to my door and putting things all over my driveway. Like, girl, freaking in the last year, I've had to replace 2 tires because I don't know who's doing it. I have cameras.
It's still going? Really?
Yeah, and I keep finding glass and nails on my driveway and like no one's doing construction, babe. So it's like some people are just always trying to like do stuff and it's like, dang, I have kids now. Why are y'all still going? Trying to put them at danger or in danger. I had somebody call the police and have my house raided a couple months ago. My kids were asleep. It woke them up.
Raided for what?
Nothing. They said that we were running around with guns outside.
What?
Girl, what? I was in the garage working out.
That's so crazy because, I mean, I think you and I both have the stalker story. I mean, I can remember yours when I was literally there to witness like the fact that people will literally come to your place. And like we both have been taken out of our homes. Like I don't know if you remember.
Lived on Sunset.
Yeah,
those apartments.
I had to leave, and there was this guy that he would just keep coming. I don't know who he was. I don't know where he came from, but he was like a old like 60s. And he would come all the time talking about I'm his girlfriend.
That's very dangerous.
And it's like, it's real life. That's the crazy thing.
Like, it's not just a story, which I know people viewed it as entertainment probably, but it's like, that was actually happening to us. We were scared for our lives, and we had to move out of our homes that we were comfortable in.
Yeah.
Like, it was not.
And I feel like with you went through a lot of things within Hollywood, and I know you're pretty open to like speak about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it even shocks me till today, some of the stories that I can look back on that happened, because I'm like, wow, we were actually really divinely protected.
Yes.
You know, when you
had to have been.
Yeah, like when you get to a level of going viral, no one really speaks of what that moment feels like. For me, I could say that it felt like I was kind of in like a bubble trance. Like, if I could look back on some stuff I'm like, oh, wow, I couldn't believe that happened. Like, remember when we were at the club? I mean, I'm not going to name names, but remember we were at the club and said rapper wanted us to come home. Looking back, I'm like, we were like 19.
Yeah, we weren't 21.
No, we were like 19 and he was like 30 something years old. Like, even situations like that just blows my mind.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
It is.
Because I would not.
It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah. It's just weird. Because when in the time, like you said, we weren't mentally as mature. So we're just like, But now it's like, ew.
Ew.
Like, ew. It's kind of gross.
It's like lock them up.
Yeah, jail.
Especially
and we looked young when we were 19, 20. We
like,
looked young.
I was looking back at some pictures and stuff. I'm like, it gave 15.
It gave little girl big woman clothes.
Yeah.
For a lot,
and makeup, like, to cover it up.
A lot of my outfits were, I was like, girl, why are you going to Hustlers and buying that little cut up shirt? Like, put them away. You're a child.
Literally, like, what? And then now that we have girls of our own, I'm just like, you will not be doing that.
No. Come here.
Speaking of babies and social media, how do you feel about showing them online or even just showing them that life? Like, what is the rules in your home, if you don't mind sharing, like, when it comes to that? Because, like, before you answer, for me, I'm still not in a place where I feel comfortable like sharing my daughter just because I got trauma from the media. And like, I can take someone saying something mean to me, but I don't know how I'm gonna take it if you say it about my baby. I don't know. We might have to see each other in the flesh.
We have to meet up.
Meet up. Okay.
So for me, it took a while. Like, I didn't really document my pregnancy with Nyla. Like, I was very, very private about it. I was very private with Luca's pregnancy. But like when she was born, I was putting emojis over her face. Like, I was posting the photo, like, you can see her hair.
Yeah.
You can see her arm. But like, I'm still hiding her face. And that was just Mama Bear coming out of wanting to protect her as much as I can. Because of course, like, I want to share photos and share memories and share everything with my audience. But I'm just so protective of my children that, like you said, you can call me ugly. You can say my hair is messed up. You can clock my skin. Go for it. But if you want to talk about my child,
you
might make me cry.
Yeah, no, you really gonna hurt.
You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me really mad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't want people screenshotting pictures. I don't want people like, because sometimes I'll post like a little here and there on my Snapchat, and even if it's like 2 screenshots, I'm like, ugh. Who did that? Like,
but it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, delete
photo.
Yeah.
Who did that? Like,
what are you doing with the photo, though, is the question.
Yeah, why do you need that in your phone? You don't know my children. Like, yeah, you know me, and like, you like my content, and you like me.
And that's fine.
But why do you want, like, when that girl got exposed for having like Stormy as her like background of her phone or something, and people were like, ew. I'm not for the parasocial relationships. Like, you can like my content and like me, but there's still a certain level of like respect, and don't be weird.
Yeah. I mean, I do have questions on like how you do handle that. Like if you do get any weird comments or reactions, because like for me, no one has seen my baby's face, but my close friends and family.
And she's very beautiful.
Thank you. When I even post like in a sling yesterday, I had her in a sling and like someone felt the need to tell me that I'm suffocating my daughter and I need to make sure. I'm like, so how are you handling it with the fact that you have shared them?
Girl, I had a blanket on Luca and he was holding his bottle and some girl like commented saying, wow, you're a lazy mother. You have him propped up with a bottle. We're going for a walk.
Oh my God.
We're in the stroller. Like, am I supposed to
But
be
also, I feel like there's little tricks and tips that parents do. Everyone does that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of moms do that. Like, I've done that with my baby.
Yeah, just have them sit there with their bottle if they can't.
They're fine. I'm looking at them.
Right,
like,
I'm right
literally looking at the baby.
Yeah, it's not like I'm on my phone for 5 hours scrolling and they're sat there like propped up or something. Like, we were on a walk and it was cold outside. Well, not cold, but chilly. Need a blanket. But I'm a lazy mother.
But you know
People
what?
Love to give
that
unsolicited advice and comments.
I noticed the mother community is a whole nother ballpark than the community that we're used to being in. Like, I don't know what it is, but moms become moms and feel like they just need to tell you what to do. And I'm like, I don't know why people do that. When, as a woman, if you have children of your own, you should understand we're in postpartum. You're still in postpartum stages. I am as well.
It's barely been a year.
Right. So it's like, as women, I feel like we should do better at just
being nicer and more gentle.
Being gentle with each other. And I don't know where the aggression comes from, but especially being a new mom for me. I mean, I'm 3 months in it, and you know,
there's still so much to learn.
Yeah, it's like anything you say, I am taking that to heart. I am doing research already. So I think it's just a way to share it. And I mean, shout out to the mommy vloggers. Like, I have a ton of friends that this is their life to share their children. And I think it's really dope that they're able to do that. I just don't think I could personally do it.
Neither could I.
I commend you for keeping your career going, but also being an active mom. Like, that is hard, and you're doing it.
I just want my kids to have what I didn't have. And even though my mother was there, she wasn't always present. She wasn't present. That's the word. She wasn't always present, and my dad was always gone. So I really want my children to have that dynamic and that presence, because it's so important. Because I know how it affects me as an adult.
And I think, you know, that's also encouraging to other people out there that are looking, because I feel like we are in an era of like, we're women, we're bosses, like, let's do it on our own. And it's not too many people that are like promoting marriage and promoting family anymore. And so it's hard to like find anyone to look up to. And I think like, even for myself, that's something that I want to promote, and that's what matters to me. Like, I feel like when we started with YouTube, kind of was just promoting whatever, like doing whatever at that time of whatever was coming in my life. But now I just look at women.
Now you have a message.
Yeah, it's like now I understand the journey from being young to having to be an adult. And like, I just want to set that example of like, you know, it's still families out there. It's going to be hard, but you can still do whatever you want to do, because moms be making it. I don't know if you got this, but they was making it seem like my life was going to be over.
Yeah, like, it's over. You're having kids, like, done, like,
where did that come from?
I don't know. I think it's because there were so many generations of, I don't know. I feel like I've always just been a boss. I've always just been a boss. So I mean, I think going through the experience, it takes a level of pulling stuff out of you. It could be generational as well. Like, if you seen your mother maybe just step back from her career, maybe you think that's what you should do, or your grandmother did that. You know, it's different for everybody, I guess. Like, for me, my mom never started a career. My grandmother never had a career. My great grandmother never had a career, and that's on both sides, because they just stepped back to, you know, take care of their children and
like stay at home moms.
Stay at home.
Which is nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that either. Yeah, it's fine if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think everybody's different. Some women want to be, what is it? That Nara Smith girl? Nara Smith.
Yes.
I just found her. She's what people are calling a trade wife, like stay at home, cook, clean.
But you know what? I hate when people, but I also hate when people say that about her, because like I've been following actually her and her family for years before she blew up.
Let me know.
No. But no, and not like nothing against you, because I mean, she just blew up to a wide variety of people, but she actually has a career of her own. Like she's a model, like she's still an entrepreneur first. But people make it seem like, oh, she's just this stay-at-home girl. But I'm like, I can't imagine what her lifestyle actually is like behind the TikToks, because the TikToks look cute and look pretty, but you can't tell me you got 3 kids in it.
They could be screaming in the background, like, okay, cut, let's do that part again.
Screaming, kicking, crying. Like, you're flying out. You just booked a modeling job. Now your man did, and then now you have the kids by yourself. Like, it's still a whole ordeal, and I think people take these 2-3 minute pickups and think that's the lifestyle, and it's like that ain't the lifestyle. I know she be having days where she like, child, I'm tired.
Yeah, 100%.
We know how to make something look cute.
Yeah, exactly. We know how to just throw it together in 10 minutes real quick. Make something look good.
Edit it up.
May take a couple hours to film, but
took 10 hours, but we're here nonetheless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just brought her up for the example.
The purpose of example,
Yeah, like some people, if that's the vibe you want to go for, then
that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I wanted to do something different. I just personally, I wanted to do something different because I saw my mom suffer.
I think you choose what it is that you want your life to be. So we all have a choice. We all have about the same amount of time, like from birth to if we're all in the same age right now. And it's like everything is a choice. So if I'm waking up and deciding today I just want to be lazy and that's what I want to do, that's just what I'm going to do. Or if I'm deciding, I want to wake up and make something happen. And I think with life in general, it's a choice.
You need to show up for yourself.
Yeah. And it's like once you have children, I'm not just showing up for myself anymore. I'm showing up for my family, and what does that look like to people? Because even being a stay-at-home mom, you're still showing up. Yeah. You're just showing up in a different way.
Exactly.
And I think when you are a hustler, and this is where I'm a little different, like for me, it was scary finding out like, oh, I'm about to be a mom, because all I heard was people saying, oh, you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to do that. And I didn't have anyone to really look up to who did it.
Yeah.
And anybody out there who's watching, like, it can be done. Whatever you want to do, it can be done. It's just going to be a little pivot, a little switch, a little schedule change.
Might have to time some things out, but your life does not end when you have children.
Right.
You might go on pause. It can go on pause for a little bit sometimes. Yeah. But it starts. I feel like my life is nowhere near how it was before. Like I didn't have structure. I was just kind of like living. I was just surviving, I feel like, and now I feel like I'm living.
I mean, that's why I feel like I'm just indifferent with a lot of the I don't need a man talk these days, because I do. I love my man.
Like, I love my man. I don't know about you.
I do. I don't know about y'all.
But hey, I remember being that person, though. Being like, I hate all men.
I was that girl. I was like, ooh, they ain't this, they ain't that. And I had to take a look at myself. Well, look what I was choosing.
Dead at the camera. Like, that part.
I said that was on me, child.
I was attracting a certain type of man because... Now, this is different for everybody, but I feel like I was attracting a certain type of man because I was a certain type of girl. Mm-hmm. And it was toxic. It was messy. It was...
Your environment matters.
My environment as well. Like, who was I surrounding myself with?
Yeah, who you talking to?
That was my dating pool.
Even what you're listening to on a day-to-day.
Girl, I don't listen. I used to listen to NBA Youngboy.
Girl, I was bumping that.
King Von, like... Now I listen to like soft rock and little like
I mean,
EDM, like dance music or rain sounds. Girl, sometimes I'm working out, it's just in my head. Like I just need silence, white noise.
Mm-hmm. White noise. But that's a fact. I mean, and I think that's the beautiful thing about a journey is like you'll find where you land. Yeah. And it's like we've gone through the phases of being able to say those things and cultivate that energy and like, he ain't this, he ain't that. But then you kind of, again, it goes back to building the life that you want. So if you want the life that you want, you have access to it. You just have to change your mindset. Maybe, you know, some people you're hanging around, and it really does make a difference. But yeah,
environment.
I'm team get a man. Good one. Get a good man.
Get a good man and hold on to him.
Hold on tight.
Hold on tight, girl. Because
you're going to need him. You are going to need him.
It's nice having someone that you can lean on for everything, pretty much. And I wouldn't have it any other way. When
it comes to true friendship, like I feel like I never knew the definition of that.
Yeah.
Your partner is like your true,
that's your best
that's
friend.
Your friend right there. Like when you're low, down, tired, broke, disgusted, that's gonna be your your helpmate.
Yeah.
Like I used to go through stuff alone.
Right. Was he in the room with you when you gave birth?
He like, literally coached me through the whole thing.
Like having that moment with anybody else?
No.
Like that was such a intense, vulnerable, a little nasty moment. Like
it's preposterous.
Like I could never imagine going through that with somebody else. Like it's just. I mean, you got it. I can't even explain it.
You can't explain it until it's you.
So how was it being with somebody who isn't pursuing like social media, isn't pursuing like the influencer career, doesn't like, I know he isn't in all your vlogs and stuff because he didn't really want to be up with the camera.
Yeah.
But he's an actor, but it's different.
Yeah, very different.
It's very different.
I think that's something that I really loved about him, and it captivated me because I did date a lot of people that loved media. Like they loved the attention, anything for a like, they were with it, anything for a view. And I think when I was going through my transition of like just trying to detox from social media and like really understand real life and be present, like that's what I needed and wanted to be. That transition year was like really hard for me. Like I had to do a lot of like disconnecting and prayer and just like really trying to figure out how I wanted my life off of the internet to look, because I feel like I had my identity all on the internet. It was just like nonstop. And so like him coming into the picture really helped me as well, because he doesn't care about social media, and it gave that balance that I needed at that time. And even today, you know, because it brings me back home. Like I'm able to be normal and be regular and not like think, oh, I gotta film or whatever, you know. Like he'll tell me like, you can relax, we could chill, we could watch a movie, like, you know. And it's helped me.
He like brings you down to earth a little bit more.
Yeah. I think for him though, it was a culture shock because he never dated anybody he's dated people of status, but not publicly, to where, you know, people were bringing up my past and things that I did, or just stuff that he still has to see, like certain names that people were like, they're so inconsiderate. Like he'll post a picture and people will like be like, oh, didn't she date da da da, like things like that. And luckily I found someone that doesn't affect him. I mean, he sees it. It's like no one wants to see that, but
he's secure enough in himself.
Yeah, he's secure enough where it's like, come on, like we're married, like it's been years, like y'all stuck on the past, you know. But I think for me, it was hard because I was embarrassed. Like, you know, I had to do a lot of explaining. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of explaining because I was like, this name is going to somehow probably come up because this person's still like, you know?
It's a lot of explaining that I had to do, and a lot of cleaning up that I had to do, and a lot of regret that I dealt with, that I, you know, obviously I have someone that like loves me for who I am, so it helped with the healing process of that. But it definitely was very hard to have to kind of like face who I was online versus who I am in real life, because I feel like it was kind of two totally different people.
Yeah.
How did social media change like your immediate family at the time, that lifestyle?
That's a very good question, because I feel like I used to talk about my family online a lot, and then one day it was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So everything was pretty good. I mean, I've been pretty estranged from my father like my whole life, because he was in the military, deployed for 2 years, came back for a month, gone again. Like, so it was very in and out. And when he was there, it was like the best environment. Let's just say that. Military abuse, like there's a lot of stuff. So when I moved out at 18, which I got kicked out actually.
Really?
For being late by like, I think 30 minutes. I went to a Lana Del Rey concert.
Wow.
And my friend dropped me off like 30 minutes late. My phone died. They didn't have a charger in the car because I didn't have like an iPhone. I had one of those little like track phones.
Right.
So girl, ain't nobody have a micro USB.
No. Literally.
So I didn't have
Once the phone's dead, it's dead.
Right, it's dead. We're done. Like just cross your fingers and get home. So I went to go get dropped off at home. The door was locked. My mom tried to open it. My dad said no. So I had to like wait outside for like my dad to go to bed, go back in the house type thing. I was kicked out the next day.
You had to like pack up and leave.
And yeah, he got in my face, was yelling at me. I never raised my voice at my father in my life until that day. And that day I knew I need to go.
So where'd you go?
I got a little rink-a-dink apartment. Like it wasn't in the best area. I got robbed like the first week I was there.
And this was in your hometown? This
was in Arizona. I moved to like Avondale / like Maryvale area. It wasn't the best. But
and so was this around the time that your YouTube was?
Oh, I was working 2 jobs. Yeah, I was working 3, but I had to quit 1. So I was working 2 jobs, commuting 45 minutes to an hour to get to work, in college, paying for it myself. Wow. Like I had to make it work somehow because if they weren't going to take care of me, who was? So, I mean, my mom didn't want me to go.
Right. But at that time, were you on social media at all? Or?
I was posting my YouTube videos, but I was getting about 300 views, 1,000 max. And right before I moved, like a year before, I had I almost got kidnapped. So I was like, let me just start sharing more personal things now that I'm in my own environment where I feel safe, like to share this kind of stuff. Wasn't the safest apartment, but I had my own space to like get these things off my chest finally. And when you spend a lot of time by yourself, things come to surface. So I just wanted to get it out of my chest. And I shared it and it got 7 million views. Wow. And my life changed that day.
That is crazy.
Like, so I'm so grateful for all my girlies and they always know that. And I think that's why they still rock with me because they know that I come from a genuine place, that I do actually care about not my fan base, my online family. Yeah. Because they saved my life. I was struggling. Like girl was eating boxed Great Value macaroni and cheese every day, ramen noodles, 30 cents. Wow. I would buy groceries. I got robbed on the way back home.
And it's crazy also how when you're at your lowest moment, just how God can come through and really like restore you, you know, when you're consistent.
I was scared. Yeah. And I was alone. Like I was very sheltered growing up. So I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have anybody that I could depend on. No one was visiting me. No one was coming over. I had my friend Claudia, but like we both grew up Jehovah's Witness, very, very strict. So she wasn't allowed to just come to my house, even at 18 years old. No. So it was a very weird dynamic of like, one day I'm here with my family. Now I'm just here alone.
When you blew up, did your family reach out?
No, something did change. When I moved out, everything was fine with me and my brother, right? But then I moved to LA. Then all of a sudden my brother's texting me like, you left me. You abandoned me. You chose money over the family. And I'm like, I got kicked out. And now that I'm on my own, I'm just trying to make something of myself because I'm the only one that got me at the end of the day. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So it's like, I didn't leave you. I was just trying to figure things out for myself. Yeah. And since that day, he still hates me and he still holds it against me. He commented on a YouTube video like a month ago saying the evil will perish and I'll be reunited with my niece and my nephew. The evil.
I hope that
I pray for him.
Yeah, I'm
he finds peace.
Praying that he understands because like hearing your story is like I can understand why you left, and also you didn't have a choice at that time, and you needed to do what you needed to do for what was given to you at that time. And I mean, I just feel like you have healed a lot. Like me looking at you today, I give you props because I know like your upbringing and things like that was very hard, but the healing is eluding Like the healing is all over you. Like I could just see the work that you've put in. And I just hope that one day he'll maybe get to a place to understand and see that, you know, and be able to get the healing as well, because you've done a great job.
Thank you. And it sucks because it's been like 10 years.
Yeah.
Since I've like really had a conversation and sat down with him. And because every time I've tried, it's just something really toxic or something very like, it goes south every single time. So I'm at this point in time estranged from, because I even try to talk to my mother because we have our own issues. And there's a lot of, I'm just going to say maybe she's not ready.
Yeah.
To accept what happened in my childhood, what happened growing up. And I try to have those conversations with her, but she's not. And my brother keeps doing crazy stuff in the background, and I try to go to her so she can maybe get through to him. And it's very obvious that it's
stagnant on like the other side.
Yeah. So I'm estranged from pretty much everybody on my side of the family, unfortunately. I haven't talked to my mom in almost 2 years.
Beautiful side of it is that you were able to create your family. Like
that's why you never heard me talking about like, oh, I want to start a family. I remember you always talking about like, I can't wait to find my husband and my babies. Like you made it apparent that you wanted that in your future, but I never did because I was afraid of history repeating itself or not being able to find that.
But you're a product of showing that history doesn't have to repeat itself.
You can break generational curses.
You can break that. And I think that's the message. That's the dope part about you, is that regardless of who wants to stay stagnant or stay and live in the past, life is short. We got to move on. We got to love one life
need to remember that you have one.
You got to love, move on. And if things can be mended, even if it's never going to be the same, mend those relationships. Yeah. So I even commend you for trying to reach out and trying to do what you can. But
I just want everybody to be happy.
Yeah. And it's like, life is short. We got to get it together, y'all.
And with the way things are going in the world
is going to. We were just talking
we need to stick together.
Yeah, I said, come on, band together, give it up. It's time to, I appreciate you for being vulnerable and sharing your story on here, man. And even just like coming all this way to like sit and have a conversation. Thank you. Because, we're about to have a time, y'all. We about to go have a little bit of fun. Is there anything else you want to say to the girlies? Drop your tags, drop your things that is drop. Like, when are we expecting the ebook?
Well, the ebook's out, but I am dropping another one at the beginning of summer, and I'm going to teach y'all how to build that booty. Ooh. Because, girl, it was flat, sinking in, hurting people when I sat on top of them. Bones were razor sharp.
I will be getting that book because I need the booty back.
I got you.
Abs too?
Girl, I got you.
Okay,
girl,
great.
I got you. But Simply Nessa 15 everywhere. I just want to show people that dark times can happen. But girl, there's going to be a light.
Yeah, at the end of the tunnel.
Don't give up.
Do not give up. I love it.
Like I want to be the prime example of like.
And you are.
You can go through some ish, but you can still get through it.
But share the example, not you want to be, you are.
Thanks.
Yes, but I love you so much.
Love you too.
And we're going to have a time, guys. So thank you so much for tuning into the Honest Truth podcast. Let's have these conversations in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think, how you feel about everything we discussed. Thank y'all so much for watching. We will see you guys next time. Bye.